I say, it's good to be back, isn't it?
Well, I could have done with a little longer myself.
I say, Henry, what did you do for the half?
Oh, well, nothing very exciting, really. We packed ourselves into the caravan and took ourselves off to a spot we'd heard about in Norfolk.
Oh, that sounds terrific.
Well, trouble was it rained fairly steadily. All the week, in fact, so we didn't get out as much as we'd have liked. Which was a shame, really, because, among other things, we were hoping that a few jaunts would cheer Susan up.
Oh, what, she bit low, then?
Yes, well. She's still brooding over her O-level result. I mean, we keep telling her that at her age, 6 positive passes, I mean, 3s and 4s, is jolly good, but she seems to feel she's let herself down. But I'll tell you what we did see. It really was most extraordinary. One morning, about 6 it was, I was up trying to plug the leak. It was right over little Fanny's bunk, so she was awake, and so was Ben. And Susan hadn't slept all night, so it was all rather fraught, with tempers fraying. But Fanny, she'd gone outside for the loo, as a matter of fact, and suddenly she called to us, all of us, told us to put on our Max and wellies and come outside and look. And we did, and there, silhouetted against the sky, was the most...
Greetings, Henry. St. John.
Oh, hello, Derek. We have a good holiday.
Yes, thanks, Henry. Very, very good indeed. What about you?
Yes, I was just telling St. John. We went to Norfolk. A little wet, but there really was one very remarkable, well, moment is all it amounted to, really, in temporal terms.
Sounds marvellous. Thomas around yet, is he?
I haven't seen him. Have you, St. John?
Hmm?
Thomas, have you seen him?
No, but I expect he's here somewhere. I say, Dennis, did you have a good holiday?
Who's Dennis, St. John?
Hmm?
You said Dennis instead of Derek. As you already said, he had a very good holiday.
Oh. What'd you do?
I went to Sheffield, as a matter of fact.
Sheffield! I know it well. Fanny and I went there the year before Susan was born. We were doing a tour of out-of-the-way urban domestic architecture. I've got a great affection for Sheffield. What were you doing there?
Attending my aunt's funeral, as a matter of fact.
What?
Oh, Derek, I'm so sorry. How upsetting for you.
Yes, it was, yes. Very, very.
But when I asked you, you did say, perhaps it was merely social reflex, that you'd had a good half-term.
Oh, well, actually, I met someone there I used to know, and managed to see quite a lot of her, as it happens. That was the good part of it, not my aunt's death, I need hardly say.
Ah. Who was she?
Oh, just a girl, St. John. We were at Hull University together. She was doing the library course, but we lost contact for various reasons, though I didn't forget her. And then when I had to take back all my poor aunt's library books, there she was behind the counter.
What was she doing there?
Well, stamping the books in and out, of course. What do you think she was doing?
Oh, don't worry about St. John. One of his absent days, eh, St. John?
What, Henry?
But how nice for you to bump into her like that, especially in those circumstances, eh?
Yes, I can't tell you what a blessing it turned out to be. As soon as she was off work, she'd come over and sit with me and my uncle. And on a couple of evenings, when I had to go out and console some of my aunt's friends, she'd come over anyway and sit with him by herself. He's very keen on sport, but he can't follow it in the papers because his eyesight's nearly gone, and they're too quick for him on the radio. So she'd read out all the teams and their scores, which was very tiring for her. She's got a bit of a speech impediment, actually.
Oh, what a nice girl she sounds, eh, St. John?
What, Henry?
What a nice girl Derek's friend sounds.
Oh, yes, she's smashing. Yes. Tell me, what are her legs like?
What? Good heavens, St. John, what an extraordinary question.
What? Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, it's just that I was trying to imagine. I'm sort of thing about girls' legs. I can't stand them if they're dumpy. Or, stumpy.
Well, let's just say, shall we, St. John, that Daphne's legs happen to be my sort of legs.
Your sort of legs?
The sort of legs I happen to like. Look, St. John, there's a matter I was very much hoping to have a conversation with Henry about. As a matter of fact, it's rather urgent.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is, St. John, it's a confidential matter.
Right. Well, I'll go and have a little stroll in the garden. And tell you the truth, my head feels little as if it could do with some air.
Thanks very much, St. John. That's very decent of you.
No, not at all. I say, what a beautiful morning.
I can't help wondering sometimes about old Quartermaine. I can't imagine a more charming fellow, but really, from the student's point of view. Do you know what one of the advanced Swedes was telling me just before half-term?
I think it would be better, really much better, if we didn't find ourselves discussing a colleague and a friend.
Oh, no, of course not, Henry. Oh, you're quite right. I meant no slur on St. John.
Of course you didn't, of course you didn't. But now you said you had something urgent to discuss?
Yes, Henry. Well, the thing is, I've been here a year now, and Thomas said when I started that it wouldn't be long before I'd be made a permanent, and yet here I am, you see, still on part-time.
And part-time isn't really very satisfactory for you, then?
Well, no, it isn't, Henry, frankly. I get paid £1 2 and sixpence for every hour I teach.
Well, surely doing £1 2 and sixpence isn't such a bad rate, is it?
Yes, but you see, I don't get paid during the vacations. So even though I'm doing twice as many hours as, well, St. John, for example, I get, in fact, slightly less than half of what St. John gets over the year. I mean, take this half-term we've just had. Well, a week of paid holiday for everybody else, but a week of no money at all for me. It was just luck that my aunt died when she did, otherwise I might have had to have missed an earning week to go to her funeral and sort out my uncle, you see. And last Christmas, I've kept this very quiet, but last Christmas I had to be a postman.
Oh, dear.
Yes, and it wasn't just the work, Henry, it was the sheer embarrassment. Twice during my second round, I nearly bumped into some of our students, and once Thomas himself went right past me in the car. It was a miracle he didn't see me. Especially as I'd just slipped on some ice and was lying on the pavement with the letters scattered everywhere. And now the summer holidays looming ahead. I've already sent in my application to be an entertainments officer at a holiday camp.
Oh, have you?
Yes. And now Daphne's back in the picture. Well, you've probably gathered from what I was saying that we're pretty serious about each other. And I don't want to keep her waiting around with a long engagement. There's been a lot of tragedy in that family, Henry.
Oh, dear.
I won't go into it now, if you don't mind. Not that Daphne tries to conceal it. She's too straightforward for that.
Well, I must say she sounds a very remarkable young lady.
Yes, I consider myself a very lucky man.
Mhm.
So what do you think, Henry?
Well,
I know how much
Derek,
Eddie and
I
Thomas
think there's
respect
no doubt
you.
you have a strong case, a very strong case. And as we all know, Thomas and Eddie are very
If
fair.
I'm going to
always.
try and nab Thomas
So
this morning for a few
I think,
minutes.
you know, they'd respond most sympathetically to all you've told me
Well, how
about
should I go
yourself,
about it
Daphne.
with him?
Do you see, Derek?
Good morning, Henry, Derek.
Hello, Mark. You have a good holiday.
You didn't notice if Thomas was in his office, did you?
Yes, just on his way down. I say, I like the chin. That's a comparatively unexplored area, isn't it? How did you come by? Not shaving, I trust.
No, not shaving. Don't worry, I'll tell you all about it later. Thanks for your advice, Henry. Most helpful.
Not at all. Only too glad. Oh, no. No.
Derek! Derek!
Lost.
What's the matter?
I think we had a slight misunderstanding. He's under the impression I was advising him to go and see Thomas about being put on a more permanent basis. And the truth is, I was going on to explain to him that in spite of the strong claim he has, he should, well, in my view anyway, hold his horses for the moment. Of course, I do sometimes feel, I mean, strictly between ourselves, that it is hard on Meadle as the only part-time teacher.
Oh, I shouldn't worry about Meadle. Even St. John's observed that he's one of these people who always lands on his feet, even though he damages a toe in the process. No, the main thing is to make certain it's his and not yours.